Hello and welcome to another Nikomedia tutorial. So today we will recreate this one. Was a request from my patron. He has seen this here on. We did some work already from him, from Rilind Vllasaliu. I'm sure it's wrong pronounced, but sorry for this. And yeah, you will find the link in the description, and I really recommend to follow him on his sites wherever you can find him. He has really great ideas and really nice things, and his work. And I got this link and was asked to show how to do this. And yeah, there are some things. In my one, I see I have simply made this, but I made a simple one. It was just a test here, and this is not really correct here. It just looks okay, but it is not dynamic or something else. And we try in our tutorial. I did not try it before, but I want to try in the tutorial to create this dynamic as well. Let's see if this works. But I'm sure he did it a little, he did it better, because you see, these spheres don't rotate only in one direction, they rotate in two directions, so they have two rotations in it. But I'm sure he did not make it dynamic as well, because when you do this dynamic, the only thing what you for sure don't get is a loop. Okay, but let's try it. Let's see what we can do. And yeah, for this we start with a simple cube. So let's make a cube. Here, cube. And I want to clone everything in the X direction here. So go to the cube, object, X5, 50-50, this should be nice. So, and now I can use a simple fillet here. But what I want here more rounding on these edges here as on these edges. So how can we achieve this? It's quite simple. I always do this with two bevel with two bevel deformers. So I go to the cube, make the cube simply editable, C on the keyboard, and we have it editable. Now I go to my edge mode. You see here edge mode. For me it's on my number 2, so. And with UB you make a ring selection. And now I have selected all these edges I need for the bigger rounding. And I store this selection. So if you don't have it in your toolbar, just go to select and store selection. In older versions it's called set selection. Good, next step. The next step is I need a bevel deformer. So the deformer, with this 1080p resolution, I don't come up down to my bevel deformer. So what I do is Shift C, you get this dialog box here, and you see I have already here my bevel, and I hold my Shift key on the keyboard and double click it, so it becomes a child, and it's here. By default, my bevel deformer has use angle and something. I don't need this in this case, because I only need the selection, and I want it only here. And let's see, so now I can change the offset here nicely for only these edges. And something like that, okay. And now I simply make a second bevel deformer, control drag it down here. Here I delete the edge selection, go back to use angle, and everything what is bigger than 40 degrees will be beveled. So, and this is only this one here, I don't need, but this is enough. I have small shading problems here. This is the topology, just phone break rounding, and we have this. And now we are able to change however we want our roundings. We can change this rounding, we can change the other rounding here, so however we want it. So, okay, nice. The next step is I want to clone this cube, of course. But in this case, normally you would say, okay, linear clone, blah, blah, blah. Nice. But this is not possible in our case, because when I make a simple linear clone here, so like bring this in the cloner, so I select my cube, hold my Alt key, click on the cloner here. So the cloner becomes a parent, which we need. And we go to linear and we see we want not in the y-axis. Here 5 centimeter, and you see this is nice. Let's make 30 here. Did you see something? The only thing what I need for our thing, for our animation, is an offset, and I cannot offset a linear clone. I don't. You see, when I use this, it goes away, but the offset would be there, but I need a loop so that when I offset this, it starts from this side as well, so we don't lose anything. And this we cannot make here, so with this offset, we can only offset the whole cloner. So what I need is, I want to clone this on a spline. On a spline I can loop and everything and offset. So I need a straight spline. You can make this with a helix and straighten it out, so with 0, 0, and the easiest way for me is to use Mow spline. So I go to Mow spline. Here you see we have our Mow spline here. I rotate the Mow spline, so I rotate the Mow spline here to the x-axis. Okay. This Mow spline has a length of 200, but I want it in the other direction as well, 200. So what I do is I go to start and I go to start to minus 100%. So now I have a 400 length and exactly what I want. If you have the default values, it could be that you get some weird result when you go to the minus or extend here something. If you get it, so you get extend, start and end. You see, I have to extend my start, but I have everything zeroed out here. This is so to get a straight line. Otherwise, it could be that it curls or curves or something else. So be sure here, in my default Mow spline, everything is set to 0 here. Okay. And now we simply clone on our Mow spline. So go to cloner, object, and the object is our Mow spline. Boing. Okay, here we have a slight problem, which is not really a problem. We go to transform in the cloner and transform it 90 degrees, and we have this nice thing here. The next step is I don't want to count here. I want to make a step, and we know 5 centimeter we have here. So let's make a step of 5 centimeter. And we can, this works quite quick, but we can set it to multi-instances, so we have no problem in the viewport. And the good thing here now is with the offset, we can set here with the Mow spline, we have a loop here. And now when we offset this, you see it offsets, but on the other side it comes back. So we have a nice offset here. Everything stays in place here. And this is exactly what we need. So let's save this. Save it to save it to my desktop. Spiral. As you said, this is the Octane project file. The patrons can already download the project file for Octane. And this one in the tutorial I will render with the physical render, so we have both renders. So this is the tutorial. Okay. Now, of course, this looks a little boring. We need this nice twist here. So let's go to our cloner, select the cloner, and click on the plane effector. So because we selected the cloner before, the plane effector should be here in the effectors tab. If not, simply drag it in. So, and here what we want to make the rotation, and we need this rotation. The first time I got the right one here. Okay, I want to rotate this 360 degrees. Good, but we see nothing, of course. We need a fall off here in between. So we go to our fields and a linear field. And you see, nice, we don't need the color. And I want the field a little longer, let's say 150. And we have this nice thing going here. And now we will see, let's hide this, the linear field. Now the good thing is with the offset here. Now we get the illusion that this rotates here, but everything stays in place. This is very nice for our looping animation. Okay, great, we save this. The next one. Next step is we need a second one of this, and of course exactly the opposite. So how can we do this? We put everything, maybe we could, with the symmetry of, I made, in my original one I made a simple, another clone, and that's it. And I think that is the easiest way. So with the symmetry it does not work, because then they rotate in the same direction, and we don't need the rotation in the same direction. So let's make simply another one. So I select all my things here and put it in another object. Alt G, and we have this, let's say, is the upper cloner here. So, and in this clone we can, okay, and I put this up, make a copy of this and name it lower. So we have these guys. The upper one I bring up, but I don't know. We can change this later, let's say 40, and lower one down 40. So, okay, nice. The thing, so let's animate the cloner here. So, let's stay at 100. Now 100 frames is okay. I'm at 25 frames per second, so I have a 4-second animation here. Of course, we want to see that everything loops nicely. Okay, the next step is we select our two cloner here. So cloner and control click on the other ones. Both are selected. On the first frame I make a keyframe on the offset. Then I go to the last frame and go to 100% and make another keyframe. So both of them should rotate nicely now. Okay, so far so good, but we have the problem that they rotate in the same direction. So when the sphere would rotate here, it would rotate in the opposite direction as this one goes. So let's make a sphere to see what I'm talking about. So sphere, we go to the objects, sphere. In this case I make a standard sphere. Let's make 50 things, and let's see how big it should be. It should stay between this edge and this edge, so T for scale. Okay, perfect. Looks a little small. 50, no, I want bigger really, so I want 25 here. So I simply go up with my upper here, E, and drag it up here so that I stay with this edge on the top of the sphere, and on the lower I make the same here. So, okay, yeah, that looks better. I think it looks better. If you don't want it like this, you can make it smaller, of course. And now, I make the half of the sphere another color so that we see everything a little better when it rotates. So I make a simple new material. This is just to see it better, nothing else. Surface, checkerboard, and here 0, 1. And if we put this on the sphere, we have half of the sphere. Good. Okay, now if we want to rotate our sphere here, which direction should it rotate? This is of course the wrong one. It's the wrong one as well. Let's see. Okay, let's see for the testing here in this direction. But I want to make it here something like that. So, and then I want to rotate it only in this direction. Okay, good for now. It's 20. Okay. I make now on the first frame here a keyframe, and on the last frame a keyframe. And I want to rotate it 360 here. Let's see what we get. Okay, here it looks nice. It would rotate in the correct thing, it fits with this spiral, but here we go in the opposite. You see, we go in this direction, but the rotation comes in this direction, so it's exactly the opposite. It's not what we want. So the easier thing here is go to the upper, rotate it 180 degrees, and then, like magic, this is correct. Good. So, but yeah, you see, this is not really correct, because that, you see, it should rotate in the other direction, but it has the illusion to rotate correct here. So but now I saved this, and now let's try to make this really dynamic. I don't think that it works good. Maybe we have to make some collider on the side that the sphere don't drop. But normally, if it's correct, it shouldn't drop, because it should stay in place. Let's just test it, why not? It's fine. So I delete the animation here, set everything to 0, because now I want it only driven with the dynamics, the sphere. So for this, of course, the two cloner have to be a collider. So I select both of the cloner, simulation deck, collider body. In the collider body, apply the detectors. Yeah, that's correct. This is okay. Static mesh is in this case okay as well. It rotates, but it's a static mesh. So we can, if it does not work, we will see it later. This is okay. This is okay. And the sphere, of course, and yeah, the sphere, of course, needs to be a rigid body. Rigid body. It automatic should be fine. And on all of them, I select all with the control key. I select all of 3 dynamic tags. And here in the bounce, I want no bounce, and I want 100% friction. So okay, so far so good. Well, let's hit play. It really kind of works. It's cool. Let's make the whole animation a little longer. So go to 300 here, and so this would stop at 100. So the cloner rotation would stop at 100. You see. But so that we don't have this, I go to the timeline, select both of the cloner, and here after the animation it should offset and repeat. So that means it does it the whole time. We see it best when we go to the curve here. You see it goes up and up and up and up. So see it a little better here. Don't know where I can make this a little bigger here. So yeah, I see it condense. Okay. But of course it's not really nice. Let's go to with Control D to the project settings and let's see what we can do here. So the first thing, I want no collision margins. So set this to 0. Looks immediately a little better, but I don't understand that it goes here the wrong direction. I deleted the animation here, yes. So this should be correct, but it should rotate in the other direction. This is interesting. So let's Control D and give it some more steps in between. This is okay. But it rotates in the wrong direction, totally. How can this be? Again, do I have, no, I have nothing, I have no sphere in my timeline or somewhere, so the sphere isn't animated, the sphere is just dynamic. Let's see what we can do here. This is okay, no bounce frictions. Let's go here to convex hull. The best thing, of course, you get with moving mesh, but the moving mesh needs this would be correct. I'll go back to automatic. Maybe I have to set the cloner, both of them, to instance. This will take a little while, I think. So I save everything before. No, that's crazy. It goes totally in the wrong direction. But as I said, when we make it dynamic, we don't get a loop because this one loop, as we'll see, this will never be a good loop. So smooth rotation makes no difference. This is just I always use smooth rotation, but I don't get it because why does this go now to cloner here and try to set this to moving mesh. That makes all no difference. I don't get it. Why does this go in the wrong direction? Yeah, but the dynamics work, so they are just dynamic. Here is no animation on this sphere. The animation is just from the friction 100%. Control D again. No, this isn't it. It's nicer, but it's still in the wrong direction. I don't get it. It doesn't matter. Anyways, I want to make it with the animation because I want to loop this whole thing. But maybe you wanna play with this, and if you find a nice way, please show me this, or please, yeah, send me your animation or something else. I would like to see this. But you see, it would work with dynamic as well. So I delete now the dynamics, and now everything is, yeah. Okay, you see, we've been just on dynamic. So now let's make a nice rotation of the sphere here. And as I said on the original one, mine I did quite lazy. I just will show you what I did. I just the coordinates. So this is fine. So no, this one was the correct one. Yeah, I just animated this one here. So again, frame 0. I make a keyframe, and let's say in the last frame. Now we have 300 frames, so let's say in the last frame I go to minus 720 or so. Let's see. Okay, 720, not minus 720. Yeah, this would be my animation. Quite nice. I would maybe, so that bring this a little down here. No, here a little. So maybe done. Yeah, that looks a little nice like this. But in the original one, from the original artist, he made it with 2 rotations. So let's do this with 2 rotations, which isn't quite a problem. So we have here 720 on this whole thing. On this one, I make on the first frame, on this last frame, I go to 360 here. Okay, this is the wrong one. We go to minus 360. Yeah, this, so the eye cannot really concentrate on this rotation, but this looks then somehow, in some cases wrong, in some cases then okay. But you have seen in the dynamic, it rotated in the wrong direction as well, so for me in the wrong direction. Yeah, you can do it with the second, but I think I do it with just one direction. I have to make here a whole 360 on the second, because otherwise it wouldn't loop. So I can make 400 frames, so this would loop slower. But no, I think I just make it with 1. And here I make, so let's say 25. Let's see what I get. Okay, minus 25. And for me is this, so something like that. And now where I notice the second one, yeah, this is okay for me. This. Alright, we can do 400. Now I try the 400, so it doesn't matter. Make 400 frames. So let's go back. As I said, in the cloner, the offset, it doesn't matter. As long as we stay with a step of 100 frames, it always will be the same here. But in this sphere rotation here, on frame 400, I think 720 will be there a little slow then. Let's see. Not really. And now make on this whole thing a second rotation. First frame, last frame is 360. Oh no, minus 360 it was. No, this is nothing. The problem is this, that I cannot make 180 degrees or something else, because then I have the problem with the loop. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, here it definitely does not fit too, so this is, you see, it goes in the opposite direction here. So now if we see go here the opposite direction of this rotation, so but otherwise the dynamics of with the original dynamics, with the true dynamics, the real dynamics, it went in the wrong direction. Yeah, you can decide for you if you want it with 2 or with just 1. Let's make it with 2, because this is a little more complicated. So let's make it with 2. And now, because I want to select, we need 2 more. I want to make 2 more spheres, and then I want to offset these spheres a little bit, and I want to show you how to do this. Good. So go up. So we have here a sphere. Make here another sphere and another sphere. E for the move tool, and I move 1. As you see, just here is the sphere side, and on this edge of the cloner. So I take, let's say, this sphere here, drag this up here until I'm here again, the same here. And here I do the same with this guy, drag it to this side, perfect. But now all of them have the same rotation and everything. That looks a little boring, so let's offset. I go to this sphere here, and what we can offset here is, we can offset this here, we can offset this here, offset this here. So everything is offsetted. But now we started here at everything at 0, and we need this 0 here everywhere. What we do now is we go here to freeze rotation, and this sets everything to 0, so our animation still works now, and here it stored the original values. So that means it rotates exactly like before, just offset it. And here we do the same. We make a little offset here, here, here. So freeze this, and now we have our offset. And this is exactly what we want. Save it. And yeah, now we can start to render this thing here. Let's make here a camera first. So I'll make a camera, and I want to set the camera to something like that here. So something looks nice, good. Okay, maybe like this. Protection tag on the camera, save. Then of course I bring in my Nikomedias Scene Rig. Yeah, I'm in the wrong layout, so here it does not work correctly. So let's go in the Nikomedia layout, bring here my scene rig inside. Oopsie. Okay, here it works. Now I can go back to here. I don't need the floor, and I don't need the background. I make in my original one, I just made a background here, you see. I made a simple background. This is just a plane with some stripes displacement on it. Nothing else. This is just a plane, nothing else. So yeah, you can download the project file even if you have no Octane. You can download the Octane files as well, because in the Octane files you will have the pictures for the texture you need. If you want this displacement, you have the pictures inside there. So if this is just for things where if you sometimes you say, just this whole nice pictures, textures, whatever, and I upload just an Octane file. You can download it and use you find the pictures in there, and so you can use them in the physical render. So, and if you get an error message, it's not the plugin not found or something else, don't care about it. Yes, okay. Tell me this another day, and maybe I care. So here, and yes, and background on, yeah, or we make our own one, but it doesn't matter for now. So save this, then make some. Okay, this material I can use here. So this is, let's say, sphere 1 or sphere, and make here reflectance, GGX, reflectance standard, wow, check. In the thumbnail I want dielectric, and the dielectric, let's set it to bed. Normally I use bed. Yeah, when I see it I use bed. Yeah, but so okay. That's nice, and here we can use. No, we cannot use a different color. But it's yeah, we can use here. Sure, we can use this at different colors. Let's make here a yellowish color for this one, or orange color. Okay, and white. I don't want it that white. So okay. Of course, we could make here a small grease or something else to make this. Yeah, let's go to our sphere here. Go out of the camera. Okay, we need here in the sphere. Bring it to 48. So now I have exactly the half here. Make the spheres editable. So C on the keyboard, go to sphere 1 here. This is should be this guy. And edge mode, UL for loop selection, MS for bevel. Bevel this up a little bit. So go with control. I hold my control key and go in the polygon mode. So now the polygons are selected here. And then D for extrude. I extrude this inside a little bit. So one time, another one time. So that's nice. And now we can bevel this UL in edge mode. Edge mode, I said so here. I don't need this. I did extrusion twice, but it was not necessary, so I select these two, and MN for dissolve, so this way, and now I select this. I'm still in loop selection, so MS for bevel this a little bit with some subdivisions. So, and I have something like that, maybe like this, and the other ones don't have this. So yeah, let's make this on the other ones as well. Or no, we don't have to make it on the other ones as well. simply delete these guys here. And I copy this one. I think this is faster than make this whole thing again. So go to C1, E, to move it to the side here. Okay. Take this one, move it to the side here, and make again this nice little offset everywhere. So this is good with the offset, so we get used to it. So go to this here, coordinates, whoopsie, whoopsie, freeze it, and here the same, freeze it, and done. So okay, save it, and then I'll copy this one. Here one, and we can make here another color, something greenish, something like that. Okay, bring this on here one. Just go over the original one, and that's it. And another one. It's here too. Make this maybe blue or red. We always do it right. Some reddish. Okay. You see, when you get this error down, then you're over there and check. Right. Nice. Then we need a simple white color here for the cloner. Here again, I'll bring this up and go to the Fresnel dielectric pet. Okay, I will make this here. Let's go to this, and I want to make these settings here my custom, my default material. So I go to this and edit, save default preset material. In my assets, you can save it wherever you want. I have here essence, okay. And the next one I open should, no, that doesn't work. However, okay, should work, but it doesn't. Let's see what we get with the next cinema version. Yeah, but I don't want black here, I want something whitish. So I'll bring this on the cloner, and another cloner, save it. Let's see what we have now. First I go to this is the PR render. So I go from the pure to physical, make a quick progressive preview with GI and ambient occlusion. The GI I make very simple, just a quasi Monte Carlo, and that's it, nothing else here. Save it and hit a preview. Let's see what we get. And we get something. Okay, very quick preview render. Okay, but of course this is just here in HDRI. I have this texture, so this HDRI, this is one of what gives me the fastest preview. So, but let's go and take another one. So all, and have my HDRIs here indoor. These are the most used for me. So, this is one of my favorites. Let's see what this gives. Yeah, immediately looks much better. Yeah, that's it. Of course, now we can make here in the background that's simple. with the same material. Let's try it. Let's make a plane. Plane. The plane in the plus C, and drag it back. So something like that. We have C. We need it a little bigger. So something like that. Let's first go into camera mode. Yes, so nice. And make another. This is the wall. Let's see what we can make here. So and bring it on the plane. It was simple with OCTANE. It's very simple to make this background with an come on, with a displacement. But when you do displacement in physical radar, you need a quite high subdivision here. But sometimes it's enough for something like this, for a background or something. It's enough if you use just bump or something else. So let's see what we get here now. So we have the plane. Let's try to make a little bump in the background. So texture and kind of surfaces. Here somewhere I have tiles, but I have no idea how I should come to the tiles here. I don't know why it doesn't automatically go down here. I have no chance in this case to go down. I cannot come to my tiles. It's a anyways. Let's take a break here just for fun and let's see what we get. Just for bump. That does not really. 100 and no, this is not what. We'll see. We get some things from the plane a little further in the background. Okay, a little bigger. T for scale. Yeah, this would work, but you see, sometimes what I said, it's enough if you just make a bump and you don't have to don't make a placement. But what I want here, if I want my tiles here, how can I get to tiles? Surface, brick, pavement. Can I go with, no, with the arrow keys it doesn't work. I have no chance to come down with 1080p to my tiles here. They should go up it. That's crazy. Pavement and that's it. I cannot go further down. I really have to go on my other monitor? That's so stupid. So bring it to my other monitor, go to surfaces, tiles, and then I have to bring this back here. So now I'm on tiles here. The tiles look funny here. So let's go to lines. And I need just black and white. So you can track the color fields here just to the other colors. But I want exactly the opposite here. I want black, white, black, black. So, and of course not so. Okay, and then I go to global scale 10%. Yeah, you see, that looks nice. And you don't need any displacement for this. Maybe 20%. Yeah, and it looks almost like the original one here. See? And this is with a displacement. And this is with bump. You can make the bevel a little smaller so that we don't get this big bevel here. Let's see what we get on that. Yeah, you can play here, but you see that works quite nice. So 10. Yeah, 10 is enough. Okay, and we have our render as well. Let's rotate the HDRI a little bit so that we get a nicer. If you don't want the color here from the HDRI, we can go to the saturation here and set it to -100. This should delete the color from the. No, not here. Okay, then here. Yeah. Okay. The PR rig I use not so often, so, and for me this is almost a little too dark here in between. So this is the ambient occlusion. So let's try to disable the ambient occlusion in the render settings, and that makes it more friendly, I think. I prefer this. Okay. So maybe I go to the spheres here. I select all of them, you see. Let's see if this works. Go to the checkerboard. Okay, not because we have just a different color. So, but I don't want to make the. I want to make it even a little more white here. So. Here is a little dark, this guy here. Yeah, that is better. The yellow as well. I will make all of them more saturated. Nice. Yeah, this is better. Okay, we are done. So the animation still should work, of course. Yeah. Okay, that's it, my friends. I hope you liked this one. You see, it's not really hard to do, but it makes fun. And yeah, if you try this, or if you get a nice result with the dynamic version of this, please show me this. I would like to see this with a real dynamic. It's funny that for me it rotates in the wrong direction when the dynamics work. But I'm sure I will try this for me as well if I find a little more time, because this is like this. This is not really a problem, but I want to know why this is. So, okay. The next tutorial will come as always as soon as possible, and at the moment I'm really busy. Yeah, luckily I'm busy, and yeah, but I always try to react as fast as possible to do something, and my list is growing and growing for with requests. But yeah, it will. I try to make everything. I try to fulfill every request, but it needs time, of course. So I wish you a wonderful start in the week, and yeah, hopefully you are with me the next time. And if you have requests, complaints, whatever, please let me know. The best way to reach me, if you wanna send me some example pictures or something else, is to write me an email. You will find everything in the description, the link to my website, and there you will find everything. Otherwise, if you have just a normal question, a quick thing, can write here in the comments, or you can write, ask in our Facebook group. There are some other better guys than me. They will help you. So don't be shy and don't hesitate to put your question in our Facebook group. And yeah, you can write. Of course, you can ask me wherever you find me. No problem. Okay, so well, that's it for now. I hope you are healthy, I hope you are safe, and I hope you are with me in my next tutorial. Have a wonderful day and all the best here from Austria, Vienna. Tschüss und Baba.